I don't know, obviously you've been doing this for a while now, like a particular technique on the app, or not even on the app, or something that you've just come across that you find particularly useful when having these conversations, you know? Is there something which you can rely on, like a crutch, a particular skill?
I think for me personally, it's the active listening skill, and it's something I try to work on an awful lot.
Mm,
I've become very aware of it in the last few years. I don't know if it's a cultural thing or something, but I speak very fast, and I get quite animated and excited when I talk. But I do then have a tendency to butt in, and I have a tendency to listen to respond rather than to listen to hear.
mm,
So working on my active listening skills and reminding me regularly that listening to what people are telling me rather than, trying to then relate an experience I've had at the same time to what they're saying, that does build relationships. Don't get me wrong. If you're telling me about a difficult sport injury you've had, and then I'm telling you about one I've had, or we're talking about difficult days at work, sometimes it needs to be two ways initially to build that trust and to feel like, you're giving and receiving at the same time. But as relationships are going on, then we don't need to have that. It is okay
mm,
to just sit and listen and let somebody else tell you. And I think just working on practicing that and being conscious of that and planning it as
mm,
well. I notice in particular there's a particular colleague at work I do it with, just because we've really great conversations. So when I know we have a call or a session, I will plan that morning, and remind myself, I want to hear today more than I talk, and I want to really hear what she's telling me and what she's going through and her experiences, rather than trying to relate mine to that. And I
mm.
think that planning and building that skill helps, and it definitely then helps at home as well, because lunchtime conversations, my husband works from home as well, lunchtime conversations when he's telling me about his working morning become less about me relating my working morning to that and just hearing about the experience he's had.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think active listening for me is a definite one.
Yeah, that actually, that's really interesting. Tying that into like sales and business development, like a massive skill, pretty much like 101 of sales is how much do you listen and how much do you ask questions? Like say like the ratio should be 70-30. The other person should be talking for 70% of the time. You should be talking for 30% of the time, and you should be listening. And so
Yeah.
it's a skill that it's not just, I mean, it's important for every relationship, but it's just
Mhm.
for life. It's such a fundamental skill, and one that you can never really work enough, I think.